Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 21st of August 2019. Here's a look at the daily chart of the broad market. This is the ES front month futures contract, as you should look at the market. And we were down today. We basically reversed most of the gains from the prior day, or at least a chunk of them. And it's kind of par for the course. It puts us right where we were back in April, which has been 4 or 5 months, and not up much since last year around this time. Matter of fact, if you look at like last October, where we were at 2,900, we're right in there, which means we're almost a year and we've gone nowhere on the markets. But it is what it is. So let's go through the major daily charts. We'll look at the intraday action after that. We'll talk about what's coming out on Wednesday and go from there. So here's crude oil down to was up 16 cents at 56.29. Again, this is important in hurricane season. We haven't really seen any yet. Doesn't mean we won't. A lot of the experts figure that's going to be back-ended, as it has been the last couple of years. So right now, this is actually a low for late in the summer like this, but we'll see what we get. Crude oil, ignore that. Gold down $2 and 20 cents to 15.13, but it's still near the highs. S&P cash loses 23.14. So again, giving back part of the gains from the prior day, which were a gap up. Nasdaq volume 54 down. Nasdaq down. NDX 100 down 54.85. SOX down 8.09. So again, giving back the gains, and the gains on Monday were a gap up, and we never really went further. Now we're just actually moving down. The one news we'll look at in a minute here is the volume. It was horrible. Biotech's down 40.62. Russell 2000 loses 10 points. The VIX up 6.62, and then the trend closes at 1.58, which is pretty high. Keeps that 10-day at 1.47. Nasdaq volume 1.75 billion. Now this is what's interesting. This is the lowest volume in like 2 months, and then that doesn't include, I think, the 4th of July holiday. Like, I think really if you ignore that holiday and then you ignore the Memorial Day Friday, this is like the low. It's basically one of the lowest 3 volume days of the year out of the blue. Now mostly what we've seen is that the up days are light volume and the down days are heavy volume. And this is a down day, and it was actually a trading down day, meaning we opened on a small gap down, but we did fill the gap, and then we rolled and headed lower. And the volume, we had a volume warning early, and it makes it trickier to trade. You don't want to get involved in that too much, but this is horrible. This is horrible volume, and it was a down day, so it's the first time we've seen bad volume on a down day. That may just be a one-off, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Advance decline ratio on the NASDAQ was negative 825, so way more stocks down than up. On the New York, it was negative 629. Google loses 16.91. Apple literally up a penny. I mean, that's almost impossible to say Apple ever does. Unchanged for the day, essentially. Notice that once again it hit that pink risk line. That's funny. This time to the penny. Netflix down $10.39. Amazon down $14.74. See what happens if these two break their recent 1 month low. Tesla down 97 cents. Facebook down $2.36. What we aren't seeing is anything major from a construction perspective. No technical chart patterns to deal with. Goldman Sachs down 222. So that is what it is. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, rebounded today off that 10-day moving average. It was up $1.49. The Dow was down like 173 points. Here's the ES. So you can see we gapped down. We went a little lower for the first chunk of the day. Broke the lows of Monday. Came back up all the way to exactly fill the gap. I mean, literally almost to the tick, filled the gap. That was the high of the day. And we spent lunchtime clawing our way back down and then sold off late in the day. The last 5-minute candle, which is 10 minutes after the close of the stock market, by the way, was negative. NASDAQ side, about the same. We still have not filled the gap up from Monday, but we've obviously started to make our way back there, and we will see what that means. In terms of today, tomorrow, Wednesday, we have existing home sales an hour before the bell. Crude oil inventories. Existing home sales 30 minutes into the market. Crude oil inventories an hour into the market, and the minutes from the last Fed meeting following that at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a couple of other economic data numbers coming out later this week, but it's not a heavy week for data. Let's just hope we get back to some volume. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading